welcome to the Everywhere Fellowship. I am joined today on this podcast episode with my friend, the Director of Globalscope, Cammie Burns-Reed. What is up, Cammie?
What's
welcome.
up, Jake?
Hey, I would love to talk a little bit about Globalscope, but as we're talking about Globalscope, let's go get some coffee. Let's go. You ready?
Let's
do it. We're at CMF. We're going to head towards some coffee in the really cool CMF pool car. It's the Buick LaCrosse.
Buick.
I don't know if you guys out there have ever rocked the LaCrosse, but it's quite the car. Yeah, it's an epic ride. Well, Cammie, thanks for being on the podcast today. I'm really excited to have you on. And thanks for driving, too.
Oh, my gosh. Anytime. And thanks for having me.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting to be talking to you today because 2025 marks the 25th anniversary of Globalscope. I mean, that is awesome. That's really exciting. And it's really cool that you get to be leading that side of the organization of CMF into this 25th year of celebrating what God has been doing through the various campus ministries around the world. I would love to hear what have been like the one or two things that have been most exciting to you when you think about Globalscope over the last 25 years and the things that they've been doing. There's a lot that you could be excited about, thankful for, but maybe one or two things that you'd love to kind of celebrate or even elevate.
Yeah, so I think that one of the things I'm most excited about, I guess 25 years ago, right? Globalscope was this partnership between CMF International and Georgia Tech Christian Campus Fellowship. And we were very much sending out teams of primarily Georgia Tech CCF alumni who were going and starting campus ministries, initially in Mexico City, over the next couple of years, and in a couple other places. But it was very much we're going to do this thing like we've done at Georgia Tech. We're going to do it in Mexico City, in Bangkok, Thailand, in Santiago, Chile.
And CCF, like Georgia Tech, that was the launch pad.
Very much so. Very much so. And over the last 25 years, we've just seen this gradual evolution to, quite honestly, that no longer being quite the case. We do still have plenty of Georgia Tech CCF alumni. I'm one of them. And we do still have a great partnership with that ministry. But we also have so many other partnerships with other campus ministries, with churches, with Christian colleges and universities, seminaries, but also with our 13 Globalscope campus ministries around the world. So when we're talking about sending out new teams now or planting new ministries, so often those teammates are people who have come up through Globalscope ministries. And so I'm just really proud of that. I'm proud that we are so international. If we're going to be CMF International and we're going to be doing Globalscope International Campus Ministry, I love that not everybody is from Metro Atlanta
you
or
have
whatnot.
people coming through the campus ministry in Edinburgh that are now signing up to be CMF Globalscope campus ministers in other parts of the world.
Absolutely.
Oh,
so
cool.
I mean, that's cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then if I was going to add a second thing, I would just say that, again, 25 years ago, Globalscope was a partnership between CMF and Georgia Tech CCF, and now Globalscope is one of CMF's 4 strategy areas. Like, we're a big part of this organization, and I love the ways that that Globalscope has just kind of influenced CMF, and I think made CMF better in a lot of ways. CMF has certainly made Globalscope possible and made Globalscope
definitely younger.
The organization it is. Definitely younger, right? But there's a lot of us like me who were Globalscope campus ministers who now serve on this side of things in the office, or and we're just we have Globalscope alumni on the board and that sort of thing. So I am really proud of that, and I think it shows that Globalscope isn't this like weird side hustle of CMF, but we are kind of doing this like ministry and mission thing together. It's a core part of what CMF is doing.
Absolutely a core part. So that's stuff to be celebrating from the last 25 years, and again, there's lots there. I think it would be helpful for some folks that don't know much about Globalscope to tell me some about what you guys refer to as the frame, the Globalscope frame.
I can do that.
What does that usually look like for you guys, or what does that mean? How does that inform your ministry, like what you guys have been doing for the last 25 years?
Yeah, so I'd love to say that we 25 years ago sat down and said, this is how we're going to do things, but we didn't. It kind of I have often said for 25 years we've been building this plane that we're flying. So this has evolved out of Globalscope doing this kind of work.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of like we did this thing and then we sat down and said, okay, what is it that makes us who we are? So the Globalscope frame is kind of just a way of articulating our 4 core values that really make a Globalscope ministry what it is. Are we doing drive-through or parking?
Let's totally drive through this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We can get somebody else on this podcast.
Our orange mocha frappuccinos.
Heck yes. So yeah, Globalscope frame is fourfold. We have our first is a team approach, which is one of CMF's core values as well, but we definitely do campus ministry in teams. That's not every campus ministry's model.
Yeah.
It's not the only model. It's not, I'm not saying it's the best model, but it is absolutely how we do it, and we believe in it. We believe that teams of campus ministers are going to impact these college campuses in really important and special ways. So yeah, team approach to ministry. The next one is hospitality. We believe that's kind of our approach to ministry. It doesn't always necessarily mean a space or free food, but it is a hospitable approach to everything we're doing. We want it to be accessible and welcoming and inviting for people who aren't sitting down and saying, okay, today's the day I find a campus ministry. Or I'm looking for someone to disciple me.
Like most people do in college.
Right.
Today's the day. Dear diary, they write it out. Yeah.
Right. Who will disciple me?
Yeah.
No, but we believe that hospitality is just the most generous and welcoming way to make that approachable and accessible to anyone, regardless of where they are on their faith journey.
Because that's one thing that I've noticed sets apart Globalscope from other campus ministries is you guys really have a location for your communities.
Sure, yeah.
Oftentimes you have like a storefront or a house or some space that's near the university to create that space for hospitality to happen.
Absolutely, and I would say it's probably easiest when you do have a space that you can put a sign up. This is El Oasis or whatever. I don't know if you've ever been to a church where it's like they meet in a high school or whatever. It's like you can express hospitality in a space that is borrowed or whatnot, but it's just harder. It is, and so to have a place where students know, I can go get a cup of coffee between classes, or that's where I can go study or take a nap or whatever. To just be able to have that space. I think is really important when you can. It's obviously also like expensive to maintain a space and give away coffee and food or whatnot. But we think it's worth it. It's when we can do that, then we absolutely do.
Okay, so we just ordered our coffee. Got me a
tea if you're me.
You got a tea.
You went for the chai.
The chai. Is chai a tea?
I think it is.
It is a tea? Okay. I guess I don't really frame it that way, but okay, it is, yeah. And now I'm going dark roast here. We're going to get it in a second. Okay, so we just talked through 2 parts of the frame, team and hospitality.
Yeah. What's
the third one?
We say a grace-driven community. So, truth and grace, obviously, if you're familiar with the scripture, those go hand in hand.
Yes.
We think, grace goes first and bats last. And so I tell people often, if you're visiting a Globalscope ministry, I wouldn't expect everyone to, act like what you think a Christian could act like or should act like, probably because most people at a Globalscope ministry aren't Christian. That said, they are being pointed towards the truth of Jesus that we find in Scripture as they're part of a Globalscope ministry. And we think that grace is the best way to invite someone into that walk. It's not.
It's the theological principle of hospitality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The hard line of truth is there, but grace is driving the car, if you will.
Yeah, cool. So, like you today. Nice.
Just to illustrate the metaphor a little bit more. So so that's number 3. And then number 4 is it's the one people mess up a lot. It's like, which one is it? It's discipleship through leadership. And basically what we mean is we think that the best way to disciple someone into a lifelong followership of Jesus is to actually give them leadership and ownership of the ministry as soon as possible. So our bar for what it means to be a leader in our community is pretty low. I mean, you will find a leader at almost every Globalscope campus ministry who would not self-identify as a Christian. But we believe that inviting them into leadership gives them just the format to invest deeply in the community where they are moving closer to Jesus and inviting others to do the same, which is what we believe the Christian life is all about. But also it just gives us a chance to for them to share their gifts with the community that they're a part of. We do believe that God has gifted every single person created in God's image, and we want people to be able to share their gifts with their community regardless of where they are on the faith journey. But also it just kind of gives us a chance to speak into their lives and really disciple them through that commitment that comes with them being leaders in our community. So
that.
Discipleship through leadership. And some people get a little nervous about this, but I think it's really evident that's what Jesus did. If you read about Jesus and the 12,
that's what I was just thinking. Actually.
These guys.
Those guys were pretty squared away, seminary grads. They had it all figured out.
Their ducks were sometimes in a row.
Rarely. Yeah.
So I think it's a very Jesus emulating way of doing things.
Absolutely.
Even if we don't, it's not what we usually see, like at our churches and whatnot. Generally speaking, we're going to see like standards for leadership of elders or pastors or whatnot. And certainly we have that for Globalscope team members. But for student leaders, the bar is very differently placed, and it is one of the coolest things about a Globalscope.
It is really
ministry to me.
cool. Yeah, I love that. All right, we got our coffees. I got my dark roast. Kami got her chai latte.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you do any pumps of syrup or anything?
No
like
pumps
that?
of syrup.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Cheers to Globalscope.
Cheers.
25 years in and more to come.
Absolutely.
Let's go.